The soft life is not for Black women. The soft life is holding women back. The soft life is a big scam. Have you heard any of these things, right? These are things that I hear when I talk to women about feminine energy and living a softer life. So let's dig into it. And I want to tell you 3 things that you are going to need if you really want to live a soft life and really tap into, lean into your feminine energy, okay? But let's first talk about why is it that we are hearing all of this, as I call it, from the peanut gallery, right? Now that a lot of women, especially Black women, are trying to put down the superwoman cape and the strong Black woman image and trying to not always be this hard, independent woman that they have stereotyped us to be, now all of a sudden, it's a problem, okay? So let's talk about why that is. And don't forget, I'm going to give you 3 things that you're going to need to shift, 3 main shifts you're going to need to make to live a softer, more feminine life, all right? Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. This is Dr. Nicole, your boundaries and feminine energy queen. Okay, so what I have noticed is that as Black women are really stepping out of that trope, the strong Black woman, the independent, fierce woman, right? That we are getting pushback. And sometimes it's even from other women. There's this feeling that, don't let people fool you into this soft life stuff. They're trying to weaken you. They're trying to disarm you from your real power, right? These are actual things that I've heard, things that women who themselves want to go on a more feminine journey that's the pushback that they're getting. So they're coming to me with it, right? And I would say, don't fall for the okie doke. Don't fall for the idea that because you don't want to wear the cape anymore, you don't want to play all the roles, get stressed out, get burnt out over trying to be this strong Black superwoman, right? Don't fall for the idea that that's not good for you, right? The idea that dropping the cape is not good for you. It absolutely is good for you. And let me ask you this, right? Or let me propose this, that a lot of times when women are starting to come into a fuller understanding of themselves, meaning they don't have to be this one-dimensional, strong, independent woman that's more of a stereotype that really stresses women out, right? The more we start to learn we don't have to be that thing in order to be, to really be full and fulfilled as women, then we're always going to get pushback from that. So don't be surprised that as people start seeing that you are no longer willing to be the superwoman, you are no longer willing to fix everything, rescue everybody, do everything at the expense of your own well-being, at the expense of your own self-care, even at the expense of your own self-love, right? Because when we are burning ourselves into the ground, we aren't really expressing self-love. We're demonstrating the opposite, right? So the more you move in that direction, some people are going to feel threatened. Because think about it, when you don't have boundaries, when you're there for everyone else besides yourself or except yourself, when you're willing to self-sacrifice to the degree that you are burnt or run into the ground, then there are a lot of people who benefit from that. So keep that in mind as you start to hear people talking against the soft life. And sometimes it's not even people that know you personally or who would personally benefit from you continuing to be this strong superwoman. Part of it is as you start to dig deep and do your own inner work and to really make shifts for yourself, it's threatening to other people who have not yet summoned or gotten the courage to do it for themselves, right? So sometimes the people in the peanut gallery who are talking against all of these things, it's because they really are feeling conflicted within themselves. They want to make a change, they want to make a shift, but it's difficult for them, okay? So always keep that in mind. And that is something that me, even as a psychologist, as a feminine energy and boundaries coach, that I have had to go on my own journey of tuning out the people who haven't quite caught up yet, right? So if you are trying to live a softer life, if you're trying to stop wearing all the hats and making your plate full all the time, just know that in a way you're a visionary. You're a leader, so you're going to get pushback from people, and that's okay. That's to be expected, okay? I'm gonna get my tea, right? That's part of the self-care and the soft life, is taking time and taking breaks for yourself, okay? So now that we know why there's a lot of pushback, especially towards Black women. Black women tend to be the mules of the world. We carry, we fix, we come in. Even they have done studies that when a company is kind of like, a city is going downhill, or a company is going downhill, or a department is going downhill, then it's like, okay, let's bring in a Black woman leader to come save the day. And it's like, no, why can't I be brought in when things are at the peak, and so I can bring my expertise and I can, help to grow the situation or the company, versus coming in when it's already in the ground and trying to save it, okay? So just keep that in mind, right? So these are 3 shifts that you are going to have to make as you step in to living a more soft, feminine life as a woman, okay? And just know that that is a good thing, right? Number 1 is a mindset shift. You are going to have to make a mindset shift as you walk into your soft, and I don't call it a soft girl era, I call it a soft woman era. I am a fully grown woman, right? There's nothing soft girl about this, right? So as you walk into your soft woman era, you are going to have to make some mindset shifts, right? You're going to have to make some shifts internally around what you believe to be strength, or what do you believe to be some respect, right? Because a lot of times what we think of as respect, because we put on that hard exterior, it really actually is fake respect. It's, oh, I don't, it's like kind of fake fear / fake respect. It's sort of, okay, nobody's going to tell her we're not really respecting that, right? So it's not a thing where it's a real deep respect. So you're going to have to make some shifts around what you really believe to be strength. And there's a source of strength that women have that is so underrated by women themselves. And that is the strength of social and emotional intelligence, of seeing and knowing on a level that is not just analytical, right? It's called inner strength. And while it may seem like the world only respects outer strength, the kind of strength that you're going to want to lean into in your soft woman era is the strength that really moves mountains. It's the strength that allows you to ask for and receive help. It's the kind of strength that allows you to see a situation and know that you don't always have to react. See, the kind of strength that they have sort of made us think is the real strength is like, we're ready to react, pop off, and just, kind of be on edge. And in a way, that's a trauma response. That's not strength. That's a trauma response that we've been trained to think of as strength. But there's a different strength, that a real deeper strength that keeps you grounded and centered and able to focus on the things that you can control, versus always feeling like you have to react to everything, okay? So that's that mindset shift of thinking differently about what strength is, about what respect is, because people will have a deep respect for you when you know who you are and when you're grounded in who you are. And they might not always say it, but they will treat you in that way. And if you're just starting on that journey, know that it may take time, but you will really start to garner like the real true respect of the people that matter the most, okay? So it's that mindset shift around what strength is, what is respect, and really like being in touch with who you are as a person and as a woman, okay? The second shift you're going to have to make, right? You're going to have to make some real deep shifts. The second shift that you're going to have to make is in terms of your circle of people. You are going to have to get out of your comfort zone and get around people who are going to encourage and reinforce the kind of life that you want for yourself. And if I haven't said it already, what I'm saying to you is you get to design the life that you want to for yourself. You get to create, to the extent of the things that you have in your control, the life that you want for yourself. But in order to do that, you're going to have to be around people who are walking the same path, who have a similar vision, who are of a similar mindset, versus the people that I just referred to earlier, the peanut gallery, who are going to make you doubt, who are going to make you think you're doing the wrong thing, and who are either going to be dismissive or outright just against what you're doing. And you have to know that anytime you're trying to change a behavior, and a lot of our behavior change means changing our identity, right? That's why you hear a lot about identity shift. You are going to have to change how you identify what you see as your identity, so that you can do the things and have the behaviors that are in line with that identity, right? But you have to allow yourself to get with people who understand that. Not the people you don't want it. This is not a time, as you're developing a new identity and way of being and way of seeing yourself, this is not the time to go completely against the water, against the waves, right? So you're kind of going against the waves already by adopting this new way of being, but you want your circle, your immediate circle, to be the ones that are pushing you towards that versus pushing against you. So you might quite literally have to go into new circles. You might have to join social clubs. You might have to join groups. You might have to get in touch with mentors. You might have to seek out mentors or join coaching programs or masterminds, right? You are literally going to have to be with like-minded people to help push you, especially when you're in doubt or you're wondering, oh my God, this is so hard, or do I have the discipline, or have I really, you're always going to doubt as you're adopting a new way of being. So you're gonna have to get out of your comfort zone. Sometimes the people that you've known the longest, or that maybe were supportive of you in a different version of yourself, aren't the best people to push you into that next version of yourself, okay? And it's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to require boundaries, right? Setting boundaries around what's important to you, knowing that you might quite simply disappoint some people while you're on this journey, and that's okay, right? One of the things you'll always hear me say, right? It's better to disappoint and feel guilty than to say yes and to feel resentment, right? So it's okay to say no and disappoint others and feel guilty than to say yes and feel that resentment, okay? So it's the mindset shift, it's changing your circle. And the third shift you're going to have to make is a behavioral shift, right? So adopting a new identity, having a new way of being, it's not just a mental thing. It's not just awareness or saying, oh, I'm aware now that I want to change. You actually have to do it, right? So you have to change your behaviors. And that's another area of discomfort. It is so much easier to be in a place where you're thinking about things and you're talking about things and you're not doing the things. I always tell people, my best clients, if you think about it, right? There's so many people who January 1st, because of their New Year's resolution, what do? They buy a gym membership. But how many people are paying monthly for a membership that they don't even go to the gym to use, right? Those are not the clients that I work with as in my coaching programs. The clients that I work with are the ones who not only buy the membership, but they go to the gym because they understand that real change comes when you do the thing. It's through the behavior. And it doesn't mean that the behavior that you're trying to do, the action, is going to be perfect. Imperfect action is way better than perfect ideas. Imperfect action is way better than perfect ideas, right? So it's in doing the thing that you learn more about the next thing that you need to do, right? When I first started going to the gym that I go to now, I didn't just go one day and pick up a 30-pound weight. I was on 5s and 8s and maybe 10s, right? But it's through the doing of the thing that you begin to not only build the strength and the muscle and the resilience and the confidence, it's also how you start to learn to do the thing. So it's funny because with moving into your soft woman era, part of what you're going to be learning to do is part of what you're going to be tasked to do is be able to, the thing that you're going to have to do is learn to pull back and do less. So when you're in your strong Black woman era, your superwoman era, what you're doing is you're doing the most. You're fixing everyone's problems. You're doing everything for others. You're not doing enough for yourself. So you're going to have to shift that dynamic. You're going to have to do more self-care. You're going to have to do more times where you're pausing to drink your tea, right? You're going to have to do less of running to everyone's rescue. You're going to have to do more of saying no, right? Oh, I have a flight at 3 in the morning. Can you come pick me up at 1 a.m.? No, I can't. I have something very important to do tomorrow. I need to get my rest and I'm not able to do it. Have you thought about an Uber? Right? You're going to have to do less of that being at everyone's beck and call. You're going to have to do less of saying yes to everything, even if it feels like it's things that you want to do, because there has to be a balance, right? Sometimes we tend to say yes to so many things and they are things that we can't possibly do all at once without draining ourselves and burning ourselves out, right? So we don't want to be in that space where we are feeling like, oh, just because I want to do it, I have to say yes, right? The behavior you're going to have to practice is learning to prioritize and learning to realize that just because you want to do something doesn't mean you should or you can at this particular time, okay? The other behavior is really practicing. So when I say it's practicing what you're not doing, so you're not going to be tiring yourself out every day. But what that means is you are going to learn to rest. Sometimes it means not doing anything. Sometimes it means ordering out, watching a movie, taking a hot bath, scheduling that massage, making an appointment with an esthetician, taking care of your skin, drinking more water, cooking a nice meal because it's relaxing to you, right? Taking a walk, sitting down to color and journal because it's going to pour back into you. These are all the things that are going to help you soften up. You're going to unwind. You're not going to be stressed all the time and you're not going to be so uptight, right? But it's going to take practice. Do you know how hard it is for many of us, and it was for me at one time, to just sit back and put your feet up for 30 minutes and relax with a book and a cup of tea, right? It's about going back to that behavior. And that is how you step into becoming that woman that woman who is in her soft woman era, who's in her femininity, who doesn't feel like she has to control every single thing, and who's willing to let not only others step up to lead when it's their issue and their problems, but who's also willing to let other people fail, because we are not the eternal rescuers of the world. Okay? So those are your 3 tips or shifts that you're going to have to make as you go into your soft woman era, and just reinforcing for yourself that you deserve it. You deserve to have the boundaries with other people, and sometimes we have to have the boundaries with ourselves to stay on track and to stay committed and consistent with those things that we say we want for ourselves. Okay? Don't forget to like and share this video, subscribe to the channel, and if this content is helpful to you, make sure you hit that notifications button so you don't miss any of the videos or content that comes out. All right? See you next time.